morning, fellow followers of Christ, and of course, those who are just curious. So I need to admit something. I don't know what to say anymore. Over the last year, I've been fairly consistent with putting out videos, as consistent as one can be with a full-time job, talking about my Christian faith and my journey through it. But lately I've been struggling. I've always seemed to, in the past, had something to say, and been able to come up with content each week to keep you abreast about what was going on in my life, what I'd been thinking about, what God had been probing me on, and how I had been reacting about it. But you would think that this wouldn't be hard, because Christianity, and more specifically evangelicals, always seem to be able to come up with something for me to think about, content-wise, where I can actually ponder and wrestle with something that's either going on, or that they have provided me to wrestle with in my own life, furthering my relationship with God. But ever since my last video, where, admittedly, I got a little drunk and asked the question, do Christians have rights? And that might just be a one-off video. I've had no really solid ideas on what to talk about. I've had partial ideas, but nothing's really panned out. I got 50% on a script where I talk about why I believe God allowed Donald Trump to become president. And after the sermon a couple weeks ago, I think I need to try and finish it. But at some point, the words, the ideas just stopped. I hit a wall. Other potential topics came to mind, but like a fleeting wind on a hot day, they just never panned out. And it's not like evangelical Christians or Christians in general have stopped saying or doing stupid things. I saw an article the other day how Franklin Graham was recruiting churches, mind you, churches, to help bolster the Republicans' chances of keeping the House and the Senate. I think it's a dumb idea, but I just didn't have any direction on where to take it, and I don't know why. And then there was members of the Trump administration and how they used Romans 13 to justify a blind obedience to the nation's laws, conveniently forgetting that Paul, who wrote Romans, was martyred by that very state. And normally when something like this happens, my evangelical roots would be saying, oh, you're struggling spiritually. You need to take some time off to read the Bible, to pray more, to talk with your pastor. And frankly, I don't think I'm struggling spiritually. I'm struggling with writing, but I've been reading the Bible. I've been praying. I talked to my pastor the other week. It's not something that I see as a spiritual issue. So what's the problem? I don't know. Maybe there's a point in time when people who write, their brain just says, no more, I need a break. But the thing is, I don't know. This is the first time this has ever happened, and I am just frustrated. There's so much going on in the world and nation today, and I feel that God has given me an insight into some of these topics through the Bible training that I've gone through the years of church, through the books that I've read, that it's just that to not be able to speak to some of these topics is just downright why. The question just keeps coming to my mind. Why is God allowing me to not think about these topics? Why can't I come up with these words? I feel that this vlog, this video series that I'm doing, is in some way a spiritual discipline. Much in the same way that a monk would set time aside each day to read the scriptures, read books, pray to God, that this is a discipline that I give to God. And when I can't do it, there's just something that says I'm somehow failing God, failing in my relationship with God. And sometimes there's a point in time in life where you have to stop and reevaluate what you're doing. Maybe doing this video series isn't the right spiritual discipline for me. It's a possibility. But as I've been thinking about it and praying about it, I really don't think that that's the problem. I'm not 100% sure. So in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to try to keep putting out videos. But if that doesn't happen, I will probably have to move on to being a different spiritual discipline. I'm hoping that's not the case, and I don't think it is. But until then, my name is David Patton. I publish videos most Fridays talking about my Christian faith and my journey through it. If you like this video, of course, give it a good old thumbs up. My last video is going to be right about there, where I get a little drunk and ask, do Christians really have rights? Also, it's nice to know that you like these videos, so please subscribe by clicking right there. God bless, and have a good week.